Hello Internet, I'm your only mate, and it's time for a new death battle. This time we have Simone the Digger versus Kyle Rayner. Now, as I should say with all my reaction videos, please click the link in the description to go watch the actual episode itself before watching mine or anyone's reactions. Don't be a dick, support the official release. Now, before I get to talking about this matchup, the characters, or anything, guess what finally arrived? That being the physical rewards that I got from the Death Battle Kickstarter. One of which is the signed poster, which I did order a frame for, but the frame was damaged upon arrival. That's just how it came. I was very annoyed. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to... I wasn't able to get one before this recording, but... whatever. Thanks, Postal Service. Although... this wasn't the only shirt I did end up ordering. I got the gold one too. Now, admittedly, given the characters, I was half tempted to wear this. Yep, I'm starting this video off by reminding you of the last time that a lantern was in Death Battle. Ow. But anyway, on to the matchup itself. How do I know these two? Okay, so Simone, the only thing I've ever watched of Gurren Lagann was like a clip that a friend of mine showed me like years back. I just remember like massive mechs grabbing galaxies and slamming them together to make a beam that was like the Big Bang, essentially. And as for Kyle, I'll be honest, the lanterns I know more are Hal from, well, you know, and Jessica Cruz from the Ruby Justice League crossover movies. Her being my personal favorite lantern, by the way. Now, I have heard that this match is close. Like, Simone has, like, a lot of stuff. But... based on like how powerful I know DC tends to get, I kind of right off the bat I want to say Kyle wins. But hey, if the analysis can sway me to the other way, or they bring up a convincing argument, then I'm also fine with that. I'm not really that attached to these two, so I have no horse in this race. I'm literally just here to learn about the characters, watch a cool fight, hear the reasoning, and find out what's next. In short, I have no strong feelings one way or the other. So, I'm gonna put these on, shut up and hit play.
Simone the Digger.
Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern.
Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
He's Wiz and I'm...
This is gonna be nuts. I've also heard the fight is like 99% hand-drawn.
The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at
I've seen that go before. Like people bring her up when they talk about Gurren Lagann.
Another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess.
Simone was a digger.
Alright. Okay, so, pronounced Simone. Oh, Monk in another universe. Likes, mole steaks. Yeah, come on. Drills, of course. Dislikes paperwork. Preach! Authority in the anti-spiral. Okay.
Drill endlessly through the dirt until the day he found the core drill.
A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina...
He drilled through the earth to find a drill.
Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the...
and there was some guy there who was like, oh god, natural light!
And Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim...
I'm just making jokes, calm down.
Scoring a second mech in the process, aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagann merged, creating Gurren Lagann!
With Kamina...
Should we just roll the credits?
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Street life.
Fueled by its pilot's willpower and
Alright, runs on willpower, merges with larger machines, drills, missiles, sunglasses, boomerang. Okay, so that's what I was catching a glimpse of. Energy blasters. By the way, if anyone wants to know why I'm pausing, it's because there's going to be a lot that I'm going to miss. So, yeah, I'm just doing it.
capable of making any weapon they can imagine.
Including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course,
Drills! Wrist-mounted
Lots of drills.
Shield drills, Kamehameha drills, and everyone's favorite, the Giga Drill Bureku! Side note, it is so funny.
I thought he was about to say heaven-piercing drill.
Was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up?
with Gurren Lagann's awesome power,
Died, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attack.
Because, you know, you gotta have a new threat, otherwise there's no series.
Spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the Spiral Nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right.
Okay, so we got another, like,
Run on Chutzpah.
mysterious force that all life,
Obsession and madness.
has a connection
The spiral
to.
turned outward spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simone would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this
What
is where
in the
Gurren Lagann
fuck?
gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simone can create portals to different realities.
Okay, spiral power, oh, energy absorption, okay, that's definitely not worth it. Reality warping, okay, city seismic, moon seismic, okay, I'm pretty sure there's, like, another one that's, like, above that, if, I remember right, space-time shattering punch.
And higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Yep, these are the ones that, I thought, Jesus Christ. Max size greater than the observable universe. Infinite spiral drill size of the observable universe. Fuck me.
Creating the Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions, all within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest
Jesus
unit of time physically
Christ.
possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light. Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history.
Get wrecked, SpongeBob.
Gurren Lagann.
Move over, SpongeBob. You've been dethroned. Oh, and the
I missed the thing. I gotta.
innumerable number of enemies across
I'll go back and
the
look. This is just my
universes.
first watch.
You literally cannot calculate how fast.
Definitely arresting him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral
And he
power
got through
just
it?
Built different. And after being
Just built
inspired
different.
by his
Nice.
bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is
What?
that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure several orders of infinity greater than himself. The jump between dimensions
Jesus
is basically
Christ.
infinite. Each new dimension adds a new direction of space that extends infinitely, thus an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simone absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simone who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that power made his fictional Simone real. Adding another
I'm
to
really
the-
beginning to see why people think this debate is really, really close.
Spiral power, You're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the
Also, I
next
saw those
step in
Sonic
mech
figures.
evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probabilities so they have a 100% chance of hitting you, or tossing galaxies around like frisbees.
Okay, yeah, that I've heard of.
Galaxies? I meant
Jesus
universes.
Simone's
Christ.
power was
Wait,
so immense that he started generating
wait, so that was
super
slamming
spiral
universes
space,
together, not
an entire
galaxies.
dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it,
Okay, well, I remembered that clip wrong.
into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her body from being erased at the informational level for 7 days straight.
Information in
Jesus
physics is essentially
Christ.
the ones and zeros
I'm gonna be
that
saying that a
every
lot.
Possible outcome in reality. Nia literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, when the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even that's not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one more.
Oh, let's be real, Boomstick, you prefer the shotgun.
Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann!
This mech is so big, its size is literally incalculable. And with a drill somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving Kamina's words prophetic. That
Okay, became this. Simon believed in him, pulled the moon back into orbit, struck out all space time at once, absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, withstood the infinity Big Bang storm, shattered your trillions of light years long, Jesus Christ, and defeated all those guys.
Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left to conquer, Simone chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up. For all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
Nice.
The universe is a dangerous.
Okay,
Did you find yourself face to face
what you got,
with
Kyle?
a vampire, alien dictators, or this one really pissed off cat? You know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps!
I was gonna say
Space
Ghostbusters.
Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was
Just that
everyone's
image.
favorite, Hal Jordan.
You know
Nah,
him,
mine's Jessica,
you
all the
love
way.
him, You might hate him, but you gotta respect the
Of
man
course I
who's
include
as
that.
unbreakable as Hal's.
Until the day his will broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He
Yeah,
ran
I've heard about
war,
this.
killing everyone in his path. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So was
Okay.
Hal picked for his in.
Alright, wait, he was Parallax at one point? Likes Superman, Asian movies, Gamera, dislikes DC editorial, Jaws and love triangles. Preach! Oh, I hate that shit in media sometimes.
Willpower like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no idea what was going on. Must feel good being given the most dangerous magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient fox can master it, what's your
Also a
excuse?
planet and a living
Green
maths
Lantern can do
equation.
Anything. Fulfilling any. Think we're exaggerating?
Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Protective aura, guys to base, invisibility, intangibility, time manipulation, time travel, age manipulation, matter manipulation, gravity manipulation, mind reading, reality warping, constructs, energy bursts, shields, exoskeletons, melee weapons, projectile weapons, vehicles, animals, mythical creatures, mecha, resistances, poison, resist antimatter, and resist reality warping. Okay.
Consider the time Kyle stretched the very fabric of space to increase the Planck length a billion times over. That's like stretching an inch into a light year.
Lanterns control time and
Jesus.
space, letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the ring
Okay.
has artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Boozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence.
Yeah,
by
he
the
survived.
crisis on
Yeah,
Endor.
okay. I remember that from the last
Its
episode.
users' willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the Corps, Kyle's imagination is unmatched. Probably because he's a comic book artist. And we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But
Yeah.
the team's most recognizable ability is their
Not even just the stuff Death Battle covers.
speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre, who weighs as much as eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang.
12.3.
3? DC's multiverse has 12.3 dimensions?
That sounds
is the
eerily
stupidest
similar
thing
to
I've ever
the-
heard.
The ring's only downside
Labyrinth,
is that it's
actually.
limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
That's a great
I
use of the
think
Family Guy
Kyle's
clip.
biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a
Oof.
manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Oh,
Kyle
Jesus
wasn't the only one
Christ.
traumatized. This moment was so infamous, it started the trope called fridging.
For how female
Wait,
characters are often
wait.
sacrificed as mere plot devices to further
That's where that comes from?
So it might surprise you that it happened to Kyle again.
Kyle finally got
Jesus.
serious. He became it's a long story. He had to master
Okay.
all the colors of the emotional
Oh,
electromagnetic spectrum.
okay, here's when we get
Seven
into
colors, each representing
this
a
stuff.
different emotion. The yellow light of fear. Let's
Okay, wow. Okay, so much. Okay, healing. So that's something they both have. Soul manipulation. Oof, manipulation, feel empowerment. Mind control. Pulse. Manipulation. There is so much here. Control of life. Oh, resurrection. Clairvoyance. Astral communication. And then life equation. Oh boy.
Kyle manipulate the
Oh, so there's
horrors
your
and
answer. Whether or not he should have it.
more of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage,
Mm-hmm.
ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm. Which
Jesus.
sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by
I can't deny
It
that.
allows Kyle to heal wounds. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control.
Oh, that's what happened to the new
Kyle
52
only
Lobo,
has
wasn't
Kyle
it?
Forgiving himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of
Nice.
the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical
just-
embodiment
just
of
wait,
all
Boomstick.
life in the DC multiverse, Kyle is vastly more powerful than any other Lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited
This
the
is
Forge and
insane.
described the life equation. Essentially the source code to reality, the life equation is mathematical proof that life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation,
Okay, survive the Big Bang, create the DC universe, spread the laws of physics, surpassed Hal Jordan's power, resisted the anti-life equation, mastered the emotional spectrum, defeated Wonder Woman, Parallax, Amazon, and Oblivion.
is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's
Oh, that's what that
weakness
is.
Was still himself.
What the
Kyle
fuck?
spent his whole life struggling with the power that the
The White Lanterns. And together,
Oh, okay.
they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not
Damn, that's what.
comic book came from
Okay, that is
Now
cool.
he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power
Damn.
of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Okay, both these guys are nuts. Okay, so it's based on what I heard and what I remember. Okay, speed, they're both basically incalculable. It sounds to me like Kyle might have more resistances. He definitely has more experience. And the thing that I'm thinking about is like the dimensional layer comparison. I think they brought up like 12th dimension for Simone, like absorbing the labyrinth. But the Big Bang that Kyle held back, they said 12.3. And that was as a Green Lantern. So, as a White Lantern and being more powerful than Hal, who absorbed all the batteries from across the multiverse, and given how powerful those things are, I want to say it sounds like Kyle wins. But something I remember being brought up was the whole, like, if this fight goes on for long enough, then, yeah, then Kyle might just run out of power. But I mean, he could just pull the battery out and give himself a recharge if need be. Like, it's stored in a pocket dimension, if I remember right. Yeah, that's my bet. I'm gonna guess that Kyle wins. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If Simone wins, then okay, cool. Neutral in this fight, so whatever happens, happens. Play.
Hey, remember Beerus versus Sailor Galaxia? No?
YouTube doesn't?
That's because it was taken off YouTube for being
I'm
too
sorry.
anime. But we've got a solution. It's our own website. That's www.deathbattle.gg.
And I will be linking that in the
With a
description.
store for Death Battle merch and a complete Death Battle video archive. It's got episodes
I
that
saw
feature
show up
the
like
banned,
Vesta Mikasa.
blocked, and
Yay.
censored. And there's even more goodies on the way. So check out Death
Dummy
Battle
plush when?
live right now.
Right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities. It's time for a death battle! Let's go! Going right into it.
Alright, I'm not rusty at all.
Oh, this is just him practicing.
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever
Of course.
that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
And he made a Balrog. Vacuum. Into a dragon.
God with authority.
Tell me about it.
Four.
Oh. Okay, that was funny.
That's nothing. My drill will pierce the heavens.
Okay. Oh, that's really quick. Oh, that's also really quick for the White Lantern stuff.
That's really cool. I'm a
Lantern. We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
If you ain't know,
Now you know.
Oh yeah, those hit you regardless.
I'm Simone the Digger.
Are they gonna break through the source wall?
I'll smash it down.
Yep. Yep, they are. Oh! Will of his roll lyrics!
stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future.
I get the feeling this ain't gonna work.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Super taking tilt the Gurren Lagann!
Oh boy.
Drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Free!
Oh my god. He made a drill out of all the lantern constructs. And they broke Infinity.
The super weapon wasn't your mech.
It was me.
Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
One more drill clash.
Let's see you grit those teeth!
Ooh.
You'd make a good lantern.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you think I am?
Okay, fair enough.
KO!
For the guy with the snazzy sunglasses!
When both combatants possess unlimited power,
Nice.
it's hard to judge them by our normal standards. Take speed. Simone can hit an infinite number of targets all at once, and Kyle can fly fast enough to surpass the normal concept of speed itself.
When you control space and time, things like strength and speed kind of become irrelevant.
Instead, let's
Yeah, pretty
analyze
much.
them through a lens more applicable to beings as absurd as Simone and Kyle. Their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination. The boundless things they could conjure to use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle
Fair.
could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
Yeah.
In general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone
Yeah.
wouldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
That leaves the other main
Fair
factor
enough.
for both characters, the origin of their unbelievable might, their willpower.
And that's really gonna be the winning factor here, since it's the source of everything for both of them. Whoever's got the stronger willpower wins.
Both can manipulate
Okay.
reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The
Fair.
multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered dimension infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for, it's that they can always get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because Simone starts off weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse labyrinth required Simone to leapfrog several orders of infinity in an instant. Simone made himself that much stronger through sheer force of will.
More than enough to close the gap with Kyle.
Okay.
Especially since Spiral Power also lets him regenerate his body down to an informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill
I
Simone,
mean, fair.
it was only a matter of time before Kyle's ring ran low on charge. Especially since Simone could likely regenerate for at least a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate emotions
Fair enough.
to reduce Simone's willpower, Simone resisting the Labyrinth's mental manipulation meant he could power through anything Kyle threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset, forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look
Okay.
at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential eclipsed
Okay.
Kyle, which means his willpower was ultimately greater. Kyle may have embodied life itself, but
Okay,
Simone's
fair enough.
unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Congrats, Simone.
Next time on
Alright, who's next? What? Oh, we're finally getting this!
Subscribe
Oh, boy.
as a member to see more Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Well, that episode was awesome. I don't know how much else I can really say about it, really. The music was great. I'm looking forward to listening to that on its own. Like, the visuals, like, everyone, like, went hard for that. I think the highlight for me was probably just the fort, and then there's, like, the golfer behind, Simone's mech. That made me laugh. And I have to admit, I do like that it ultimately came down to not, like, just a final battle between, like, Kyle making a ridiculously sized, like, just thing versus Simone's, like, biggest mech. But it came down to essentially just, like, a fist fight and a match of will in the fight, which, again, is what the conclusion came to. So I think that actually, like, reps, like, you know, the recap pretty well in the animation. But yeah, this episode, it was, like, it was hard to wrap my head around a whole lot of stuff. Like, all the dimensional shit and all the abilities they have, and just the different lantern powers that Kyle has. But yeah, overall, really cool episode. Next time, Toon Force versus Toon Force. Wile E. Coyote versus Tomcat. That's going to be a nostalgia trip for me and a half, because two of the things I loved watching when I was young were Looney Tunes and Tom and Jerry. So, getting this fight is going to be great, like going, back through those. I have been going back through Tom and Jerry a little bit more, but mostly watching, like, compilations on YouTube, and it's just been a great time. And I have found some things, and I ultimately have, like, my reasoning for who I think wins, like, already. So be on the lookout for Let's Discuss Death Battle for that. But yeah, that's gonna be all kinds of wacky, and also it's a hand-drawn episode by Luis. So, remember Scooby vs. Courage? You liked Scooby vs. Courage. Well, it's gonna be something like that. Anyway, I can't think of much else to say, so I'm probably gonna wrap this recording up and maybe go make myself some dinner. So, thank you for watching all that stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.